very good morning to all of you children. I hope you all are well and you are taking care of yourself and your family too. Here I am Seema Kumari representing you today the third type of chemical reaction displacement reactions of chapter chemical reactions and equation of class 10. So first in the first video I explained about the rest of the two reactions, combination reactions and decomposition reaction. Combination reactions in which two or more substances, elements and compounds can combine to form a new compound. This is called combination reaction. And decomposition reaction in which the compound splits up into two or more simpler substances is called decomposition reaction. Now this is the third type, displacement reaction. In this, though as per the name, those reactions in which one element takes the place of another element in a compound are known as displacement reaction. For this displacement reaction, children, you should know the reactivity series of metals, because here it is the name displacement reaction means which metal is more strong to displace other. So you should learn about the reactivity series of metals. What is the reactivity series of metals? Here a more reactive element displaces a less reactive element from its compound. Now see what is the reactivity series of metals. The arrangement of metals in a vertical column in order of decreasing. See, it is the most reactive metal and the bottom one is the least reactive metal. So in order of decreasing reactivities is called reactivity series of metals. Actually here are some metals are chemically very reactive, whereas others are less reactive or unreactive, you can say. For example, if we talk about potassium and sodium, these are very rapidly this is very reactive, and it react rapidly with the cold water. So they are very reactive metals. If we talk about zinc and iron, so this is the only which react with steam, so they are less reactive metal. On the other hand, if we talk about copper and silver, where it is copper and here it is silver, so these are the metals do not react with oxygen, do not react with metals even with steam, so they are quite unreactive metals. So in the series the most reactive metals is placed at the top, whereas the least reactive metals is placed at the bottom. This I have parted into column. See, in the first one, these metals are more reactive than hydrogen. Actually this is the reactivity series of metals, and this hydrogen, it is not metal, but because hydrogen is also have same tendency to lose electrons as a metal, so here I presented iron also in the series. And these many metals are the less reactive than hydrogen, so these metals are at the bottom. So here I am showing you the symbol also. See, this is the most reactive metal. Which one is most reactive metal? This potassium. And see, this decreasing this arrow is showing decreasing chemical reactivity, and this is the least reactive metal. Which one is least reactive metal? This is cold. Now see here. Yeah, now is it more visible? See, the symbol for potassium, it is K. It is the word came from Latin word kalium. For sodium, Na. Latin name natrium. Calcium, Ca. Magnesium, Mg. Symbol, if it is of two letters, so first letter will be the capital and the second letter will be small. Aluminium, Al. For zinc, Zn. For iron, Fe. Ferrum. Latin word ferrum it came Fe. For tin it is Sn, stannum, and for lead it is Pv, plumbum. For hydrogen it is H. For copper it is Cu. For mercury it is Hg, hydrazine. For silver it is Ag, argentum, and for gold it is Au, aurum. So this is the reactivity series of metals that you should keep in your mind to know the displacement reaction, because you should know that which element, which metal is more reactive and which metal has capacity to displace the other metals. So that you should know about the reactivity series of metals. Here potassium and sodium are the most reactive metals, and gold and silver are less reactive metals, and so that's why it is at the bottom of the reactivity series. So now come to the example. Here it is the first example I gave here for the displacement reaction. Here it is the name copper sulfate. This metal is zinc. The compound has formed zinc sulfate and copper. So now here first you should see the balancing. See, in the LHS, in the reactant side, copper, it is 1 atom of copper. Here it is also 1 atom of copper. Here it is 1 atom sulfur. Here it is also 1 atom of sulfur. Here it is 4 atom of oxygen. In the RHS also 4 atom of oxygen. Here it is 1 atom of zinc, and in RHS also 1 atom of zinc. I don't think so there is the need of any balancing, because it is already balanced. Now because CuSO4, it is in aqueous solution copper sulfate. So here I write small a small q for aqueous. Zinc, it is a metal, it is in solid state. Again zinc sulfate, it is in aqueous solution, and copper, it is a metal. So here we write small s to represent that it is solid. So when a strip of zinc metal is placed in copper sulfate solution, then zinc sulfate solution and copper are obtained. Now see here, you can see that zinc is displacing copper from this sulfate solution. Now you can observe this reactivity series zinc and copper. Where is the zinc and where is the copper? See, in this reactivity series, zinc, it is up position and copper is at down position, means zinc is more reactive than copper. So here, because zinc is more reactive than copper, so zinc has ability to replace copper. Okay, so this solution can be formed because in the reactivity series you observed that you have seen that zinc reactivity of zinc is more than copper. The reactivity of zinc is more than copper, so zinc can replace copper from copper sulfate solution and make zinc sulfate solution and copper. Okay, now one more thing I want to give you one trick. CuSO4, you can see you can say this copper sulfate solution, it is of blue color. It is of blue color because see, it is near to alphabet B, so that this copper sulfate solution is of blue color, that you can learn. Now zinc sulfate, because this is near to W, so that's why W means white. For W for white vitriol. This is blue vitriol, this is white vitriol, and again here is more sulfate solution is there, FeSO4, because this F is near to G alphabet, so you can say FeSO4 ferrous sulfate solution to green vitriol. So here you can learn the copper sulfate, it is called blue vitriol. The zinc sulfate solution, it is called white vitriol, and the ferrous sulfate solution, it is called green vitriol. Now I think you understood that here zinc displaces a copper sulfate compound, so that copper is set free, and the blue color of copper sulfate solution fades due to the formation of zinc sulfate. Okay, now this displacement reaction takes place because zinc is more reactive than copper. Is it clear to you all? Now come to the second reaction. Here when a piece of magnesium metal, now here it is magnesium metal, is placed in copper sulfate solution, then magnesium sulfate solution and copper metal are formed. Now if you will see the balancing, so in the LHS copper, it is one atom of copper present, here it is also one atom of copper present, here it is one atom of magnesium present, here it is one atom of magnesium present, here it is one atom of sulfur present, here also one atom of sulfur present, here it is four atom of oxygen present, in RHS also four atom of oxygen present. I think there is no need to balance because it is already balanced. Now CuSO4, as I said that it is blue vitriol. Now here you can see in the reactivity series that you can compare this copper and magnesium. So first search where is copper and magnesium. So here it is copper and here it is magnesium. Magnesium is it in the up in the series, reactivity series, and copper it is at the down in the reactivity series. So magnesium is more reactive than copper. Because magnesium is more reactive than copper, so magnesium displace copper from sulfate solution and make magnesium sulfate solution, and it displace copper. So here you can see that magnesium is able to displace copper from copper sulfate solution because magnesium is more reactive than copper. Here magnesium displaces copper from the copper sulfate solution. Now the third example, it is a copper sulfate solution and plus ferrous iron. So here you can see when a iron metal is placed into the copper sulfate solution, then iron sulfate solution and copper metal are formed. Now just observe these two, ferrous and copper, in the reactivity series, then you will find that copper it is here and iron it is here. Again here iron it is up in the reactivity series and copper it is the down in the reactivity series. So you can say that iron is more reactive than copper, so iron has ability to displace copper from the reaction. So here iron is now making FeSO4 and it displacing copper. So first to see the balancing. See, copper in LHS it is one atom of copper, in RHS also it is one atom of copper, so it is okay. For sulfur it is one atom of sulfur, here it is also one atom of sulfur, here it is four atom of oxygen, here also four atom of oxygen, here it is one atom of ferrous, here it is also one atom of ferrous. I think there is no need to balance because it is already balanced. So you can see here that this displacement reaction occurs because why iron is more reactive than copper, so that iron displaces copper from copper sulfate solution, and the deep blue color of copper sulfate solution fades due to the formation of light green solution. This is a blue solution, and due to the reaction of this with ferrous, it will change to light green solution of iron sulfate. Okay, so I think now you understood what is a displacement reaction and why you should know about the reactivity series of metals. Okay children, so now come to the next reaction. The fourth one is double displacement reaction. Third one was displacement and this fourth one is double displacement reaction. So as per it is double displacement means those reaction in which two compound react by an exchange of ions to form two new compounds are called double displacement reaction. Now here you can see the example. Here it is two compound reacts by an exchange of ions to form two new compounds. So here a double displacement reaction usually occurs in solution and one of the product being insoluble, or you can say precipitate out. So first example here it is. Yes, now I can explain. This is called silver nitrate This is called sodium chloride. This is silver chloride, and this is sodium nitrate. Here it is when silver chloride solution is added to sodium chloride solution. When silver chloride solution is added to sodium chloride solution, then a white precipitate of silver chloride, this is white precipitate, this is WHIT, white precipitate of silver chloride is formed along with sodium nitrate. It is a sodium nitrate. Now how it is forming? When you will break this, then this will break into Ag plus NO3 minus. When you will break this NaCl, then it will break in Na plus Cl minus. So as you know, the compound is forming one positive and one negative ion. So now this Ag will react with NCl. This is the plus ion and this is the minus ion. So now it will become AgCl, and this is the positive ion and this is the negative ion. So this will form sodium nitrate. Sodium nitrate. You can see, children, the first equation is already balanced. There is no need to do the balancing here. In this double reaction, you just observing that two compounds, silver nitrate and sodium chloride, react to form two new compound. One is silver chloride and the other is sodium nitrate. Okay, now come to the second example. In second example, this is the compound name is barium chloride. This is called sodium sulfate. This is barium sulfate and this is sodium chloride. It is also balanced. There is no need to balance. If you want to see, then see, here it is one atom of barium, here it is one atom of barium, here it is two atoms sodium, here it is, oh, it is not balanced here. Actually now it is balanced. Now it is two atom of sodium. Now you can see here it is two atom of chlorine, here also this is two atom of chlorine, here it is one atom of sodium sulfur, here it is also one atom of sulfur, here it is four atom of oxygen, here it is four atom of oxygen. Now it is balanced. Okay, now here you can see that when this product will break, then this will break as Ba2 plus and Cl minus. Now see, here it is 2 plus, here it is 2 minus, but here it is 2 atom of chlorine present. So total it is 2 plus and 2 minus will become 0 or it will neutralize. Here it is sodium because it is making plus 1 ion and sulfate it is minus 2 ion. Now because sodium it is 2 atom of sodium, so total it is 2 positive ion is present and 2 negative ion present, so it is again neutral. So yes, it is a stable compound. Now here it is a barium Ba2 plus SO4 2 minus C2 plus 2 minus. Here it is sodium plus 1 and chlorine minus 1. This is also balanced. So here you can see that sodium, where it is always the compound is making one positive and one negative ion. So this is barium, this is positive ion will now combine with this SO sulfate ion and it displays sodium metal from the sulfate ion and will make barium sulfate along with sodium chloride. Sodium here, sodium displays this barium and make sodium chloride, as you can see in your product. Now we will talk about the third example. So here it is sodium hydroxide and the OH ion, if it is here present, means it is base HCl, because here it is H plus ion present. So it is acid, means this is in acid base chapter you will also learn that when an acid react with base, then what is forming? Salt. NaCl is what? Obviously normal salt and plus water. This is the reaction that you will read in the next chapter, acid base chapter. So here it will break as Na plus ion and OH minus ion, H plus ion and Cl minus ion. So when this plus ion will react with Cl minus ion, then it will make NaCl, So here it is in your product NaCl, and this H and OH minus when it combine, then the product will come along with sodium chloride H2O water. Now if you want to show the states to make it more informative, so NaOH, it is also aqueous, HCl obviously aqueous, and NaCl, it is salt in aqueous state, here it will be formed, and this water, it is in liquid state. If you want to see this states, then obviously BaCl2 aqueous solution, NaSO4 aqueous solution, BaSO4, this is a precipitate, so it is solid, and this NaCl, it is aqueous solution. Here all the reactant will be in aqueous. As I said, for a double decomposition reaction, it is necessary that the both solution should be in aqueous solution. This is the precipitate, so it is solid. Okay, and here it is the last one, aqueous. I think now you understood this double displacement reaction also. Yes, this is your double displacement reaction. Now the children, the last reaction that I will describe, oxidation reduction reaction, in the next video. So today here I am stopping this, and yes, one more about the precipitate I want to tell you. What is the precipitate? Precipitate, it is any reaction in which an insoluble solid called a precipitate is formed that separates from the solution is called a precipitation reaction. In the further video, in the next video, I will explain again about the precipitation reaction and oxidation reduction reaction. So that till then children, bye bye and good night, and please take care of yourself and your family too, and please must watch the video, it will very helpful for you, and you can rewind and watch again and again. So thank you, and we will meet in the next video. Till then, bye bye.